The month of June kicks off in just a couple of days, and so too could the rest of this bull run that everybody seems to be anticipating. And I say that for a few reasons. First of all, Bitcoin supply on exchanges is running very low. That leads to a supply shock. A lot of people have been expressing this opinion. It's certainly not something original to me. And then at the same time, keep in mind that Bitcoin dominance is also dropping by the numbers. Ethereum is also holding up. It's around 2,700, ready to go to 2,800, possibly beyond very soon. Taken together, these are all indicators that the next leg of the bull run is about to kick off. And then on top of that, there are certain events that can help a project get to the top, specific events that are particular to specific altcoins. And that's exactly why today we're going to be looking at 4 altcoins that, above and beyond the rest of the market, are going to do particularly well in our estimation this June. Welcome to the channel. My name is Maddie and this is Altcoin Buzz. All the best of luck if you choose to invest into these projects, or otherwise I wish you very, very well. Just remember that I am not a financial or investment advisor, which means by extension, this video is not official financial or investment advice. We are beginning here at number 1 with Toncoin. Ticker TON. This is a layer 1 for financial apps. And as you probably know, it started out as the Telegram Open Network, hence TON, T-O-N. Nikolai Durov was behind the project. He's one of the co-founders of Telegram. However, it was relaunched as the Open Network, which still is TON as an acronym, T-O-N. It now resides under the TON Foundation. And so Toncoin actually dates all the way back to 2019. And just like Ethereum, Toncoin started as a POW, a proof of work chain, but later switched to a POS, or proof of stake concept. And although the chain concentrates on financial apps, it also offers other features, multiple features. For example, TON Storage, which offers decentralized file storage. It uses P2P file sharing technology. There's the TON Domain Name Service, or DNS, which offers the opportunity to have human readable wallet addresses for TON wallet addresses. It just makes things a lot more memorable and intuitive and kind of easy to use. And there's also TON Proxy, where you can get secure and private connections on the TON chain. TON is also one of the main sponsors for the up-and-coming NFC conference in Lisbon. That's happening between the 4th and the 6th of June. So that's the non-fungible conference, and this is the 4th event, and they all took place in Lisbon. It's going to be the most important TON gathering in Europe, so we may be getting some pretty important news announcements that come out of that. Stay tuned. And we're looking here at the last month of TON performance. The current price of TON is down a little bit on the day, but sits at $3.30. Just be aware that despite some pretty good numbers here over the course of the last month, this one's got an unlimited supply. That's never a good thing when it comes to tokenomics, but maybe you don't care as much about that. Just keep it in mind. Otherwise, a great looking project. Virtuals protocol is up next here at number 2. VIRTUAL is the ticker. And with Virtuals, we're looking at a launchpad for AI agents. And it's been very popular as of late. Right now it's down 6% on the day, but it's up about 60% or so over the course of the last month, the last 30 days. And if we zoom out further, up over 1,900%, nearly 2,000% over the course of the last year. So if you managed to get in early at the right time, kudos to you. If not, it's probably not too late, to be honest, because $2.10 right now still looks like a good entry. For context, its all-time high was $5.07, so about 50, a little bit more than that, 55% away. And these numbers show us that Virtuals and some of its AI agents are actually pretty on fire right now. The procedure for getting involved on Virtuals is not the easiest. However, that being said, we are going to have a series of videos coming up for Virtuals, and one of them is going to explain in detail how to get involved with the ecosystem if that's something you want to do. Basically, how to use their new and revamped Genesis launchpad. So keep an eye out for that. You're going to be seeing it soon. In the meantime, basically the short version of the explanation is that you need to stake Virtual, VIRTUAL. Staking earns you Virgin points, and these you need to pledge to new projects on the launchpad. It also requires another amount of Virtual. Just keep that in mind. So Maybe you've already taken part in the new Genesis Launchpad. If so, I'd actually be very curious to hear about your experience, how it went, whether you encountered any difficulties throughout that process. Do please let us know how it went in the comments below. At number 3 here, I want to look at Quant Network, ticker QNT, which as a project, of course, is all about interoperability. That is very important as a narrative since most chains, as you probably know, cannot communicate with each other. And this can happen for various reasons. So for example, using a different coding language or maybe a different consensus mechanism. There are different scenarios here. But the point is to make this kind of interoperability thing easier, Quant has what's known as its Overledger operating system. It can connect a variety of chains, both public and private, and that's because the Overledger is an API connector, like an API gateway. It connects TradFi systems, traditional finance, with blockchain networks. And of course, that's an interesting angle with a lot of potential. That's probably an understatement. One of the features in particular on Overledger is MDApps, and their advantage is that they can operate on more than one chain. This greatly simplifies the payment system between chains. And so as a result, there is a built-in appeal here as far as banks are concerned and other institutions, because if you think about it, it allows banks to now make almost instant international payments. And that is a very far cry from their current, some would say, myself included, outdated systems. These systems take a long time to transfer funds across borders. They also involve lots of middlemen and inefficiency. With Overledger, by contrast, and like I said, the MDApps, it all becomes a lot easier, becomes faster, becomes simpler, and the transaction fees, the costs associated with all this, also go down significantly. So advantages pretty much all around. The current price of QNT is also down 6% or so on the day. We're at $106.25. So yeah, down on the day. The market seems to be down as I record, but QNT is up about 50% in the last 30 days. It's got a right now $1.545 billion market cap, so it's a good size, but there's still lots of room to grow here. And the good news, in contrast to the last entry on this list, is we have excellent, I mean, just like superb tokenomics. All of the tokens are already in circulation. Last but certainly not least here at number 4, I want to look at Near Protocol and the Near token, NEAR. This is the last of the altcoins that we feel is poised to do very well in June 2025 in particular. And part of that is very much the fact that it's one of the top AI protocols and has been around for a while, since 2018 actually. Near offers an execution layer for AI native apps. It's a fast, scalable, and low-cost layer 1. One of the reasons it's actually so fast is because it uses sharding. And I've used this example before, but just to make sure that we're all on the same page, I've likened sharding to the idea of a busy supermarket where you only have 1 or 2 cashiers that are open, everybody lines up, there's a bottleneck, and that just slows things down. Again, it's a super basic analogy. It's not perfect, but the idea is that once the supermarket opens more cashier rows, then that pressure disperses, right? That's kind of how sharding works, but in the context of approving transactions. The mechanism that it uses goes by the name of Nightshade. Near also uses chain abstractions. So that means there's no more need for bridges and switching wallets. It uses a multi-party computation or MPC network, which allows for cross-chain transactions and execution. And Near's AI is what automates all of this execution, meaning that it offers autonomous cross-chain transactions. NEAR is also down on the day, but there has otherwise been some pretty good demand for this project. It's currently at $2.60 with a $3.17 billion market cap. Just note here, despite being up on the month, we're kind of considering the last 30 days for all these projects. Tokenomics here are a little bit more questionable because we do in fact see that there's an infinite max supply. Not something I like to see. Again, I'll leave it to you whether or not that's a big deal, but just want to point it out.